A very to you, our dear viewer. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and Mugalu Mohammed is with us on sign language. As we start off with the Presidential Press Unit, President Museveni has today morning arrived in Tanzania to join his counterparts at the 23rd Ordinary Summit of East Africa Community Heads of State. The summit is slated for today, Friday, was slated for today, 24th November 2023 in Arusha, Tanzania. At Kilimanjaro International Airport, Museveni was welcomed by Honorable Hussein Mohamed Bashe, the Minister of Agriculture of Tanzania, among other officials. On the Ugandan side, he was welcomed by Honorable Jacob Oboth, the Minister of State for Defense, Ambassador Anne Katusime, Uganda's defense advisor to Tanzania, Brigadier General Ronald Solomon Bigirwa, and then Brigadier General Richard Karemire, and Ambassador Kanu Fred Mwesije, who is Uganda's High Commissioner to United Republic of Tanzania, Zambia, Mozambique, Malawi, Mauritius, Comoros, Madagascar, and also Uganda's permanent representative to the East African Community and COMESA. The Arusha Summit that will run under the theme Accelerating Economic Recovery through Climate Action and Enhancing Food Security for Improved Livelihoods will see President Salva Kiir of South Sudan assume the chairmanship of the summit from Burundi's Evariste Ndayishimiye. Now, the First Lady, also Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has urged African women to fight and change their habits of failing to save most of the money that they earn if they are in to gain for financial independence. Mrs. Museveni was delivering her remarks at the Women Annual Thanksgiving and launch of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development Unifying Campaign for Kenya, held at Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani, Nairobi.
The spending habits of African women with those of their Asian counterparts, saying that though African women are very hardworking people, they spend almost all the money they make as it comes in, unlike the Asian women who, she said, strive to save most of the money they make. Mrs. Janet Museveni was delivering her remarks at the Joyful Women Annual Thanksgiving and the launch of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development Unifying Campaign for Kenya, held at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, Nairobi. The event was organized by Mrs. Rachel Ruto, the First Lady of Kenya and founder and patron of the Joyful Women Organization, and was also attended by visiting First Ladies of Burundi, Mrs. Angelina Ndayishimiye, of Ghana, Mrs. Rebecca Na, and of Namibia, Mrs. Monica Giongoz, who is also the president of OFLAD, and was graced by the president of Kenya, William Samuel Ruto, as the chief guest. Mrs. Museveni used the great opportunity of the big gathering of women to rally African women to fight the phenomenon of failure to save. She shared the inspirational example of the Bangladesh women who saved so much money and founded the Grameen Bank. She added that these women also made sure they had a component in their funding to lend to street children and to beggars on the street, which helped empower all those people who had no way of starting income-generating activities.
Therefore, my prayer, dear sisters, is that I will live to see Africa with no street children, no beggars, and one day, hopefully, we will say no to the World Bank. I congratulate my sister and friend, Mama Rachel, on 14 years of the Lord's goodness and favor upon this great ministry to the women of Kenya. That was birthed under the exemplary leadership, I thank you for remembering to give thanks to the Lord and inviting all of us to have the opportunity to share this day with you.
Kenya's First Lady Mrs. Rachel Ruto described women's economic empowerment as her passion and calling.
By providing women with the tools, opportunities, and information required, their lives and families are transformed. Through Joyful Women, a table banking-based economic empowerment program, women who were previously financially excluded meet every month to save and borrow money from the table and use it to build their enterprises and repay their loans.
At the same time, women are the anchors of all households and the engines that keep our societies and economies running.
In their remarks, the First Ladies of Burundi, Ghana, Namibia, and other speakers of the day all lauded and thanked Mrs. Ruto for unwavering commitment to advance the rights and empowerment of women. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Away from financial independence, the East African community has welcomed Somalia as its 8th member in accordance with Article 3 of the Treaty for the Establishment of the East African Community. This move is expected to unlock a wave of opportunities for Somalia, fostering cross-border trade, investment and development. Somalia's accession to the East African community boasts a common market of nearly 300 million people.
The Federal Republic of Somalia, we have decided to admit the Federal Republic of Somalia, and the Treaty of Accession will be the Treaty of Accession will be concluded with the chair of the summit whom we have designed. Of Bureau, the summit has decided that the Republic of Sudan will assume chairmanship of the community, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo will be the rapporteur. Thank you very much. And for that, I'd like to hand over the chairmanship to my brother Salva Kiir.
Therefore, you cannot talk of prosperity in Africa without talking of market integration. If you want to experiment that, you go to Latin America. Latin America is richer than the United States in terms of natural resources. If you look at the rivers, the biggest river in the world, Amazon, is in South America. The forests, agricultural land, minerals, they are all there in South America. But you see the misery there in South America. So what is the problem? Part of the problem is organization. In the US, if you are in New York, you produce a product, it can sell all the way to California. You have got a market of 300 million people, more than that. So therefore, the market becomes a stimulus for wealth creation and for prosperity. That's why, therefore, we say, please, if you want to be prosperous, you better understand and fight for the integration of the African market. A country like Uganda wasted a lot of time fighting and so on. But when we settled down, we started producing. And very soon we realized that the internal market was not enough for milk, for maize, for sugar, for what?
Congratulations, my brother.
Well, we welcome the new bride, Somalia, into the East African community. Now, as we move ahead, commercial poultry farmers in Uganda and across the region can now access high-quality one-day-old chicks locally. This follows the commissioning of Kenchik, Uganda's state-of-the-art hatchery in Mukono district. The launch of the facility was graced over by the Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja.
The Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, has commissioned Kenchik Uganda's state-of-the-art hatchery in Mukono district near the Namamve Industrial Park. At the launch, the Prime Minister underscored the importance of the private sector in assisting the government in supporting farmers and the entire agricultural sector.
Today marks a critical milestone in our efforts to expand access to chicken hatchery services and facilitate the development of the poultry industry in our country. I'm informed because I had an opportunity to go through the hatchery. These people have come with a very good technology, and I believe what they are going to give us is quality.
She noted that government's policies that are aimed at attracting investment in various sectors of the economy are already yielding fruits. Poultry plays a key part in Uganda's economy, and over the past 50 years, exports have grown by 217% from 45 tons to over 684 tons per annum.
Poultry has the potential to generate more revenue for Uganda due to the increasing demand within the country and our neighbors, like I said. Because the East African Community now has a population of 300 million people, isn't it?
Yes.
300 million people.
The new development is critical in fostering import substitution and creating a more resilient sector.
The fact that now at least we have a hatchery here, and this facility has even grandparent stock. So we are going to safeguard our nation from avian influenza outbreaks. And avian influenza, right honorable, affects both humans and animals.
There are people who are importing from Europe and all that. But you know what happens along the way. Even if you flew these birds, still the contamination, sometimes they reach here when they are tired, and all of this and all of that. Even the cost. How do we lower the cost for farmers?
The general manager of Kenchik Uganda, Nomsa Mfandauya, says Kenchik Uganda's purpose is to enable shared prosperity through sustainable food production. She adds that the chicks serve as the cornerstone of Kenchik's mission of uplifting the livelihoods of local poultry farmers.
Moreover, our innovative hatchery vaccination procedures, which some of you have already witnessed today, ensure health and welfare of our farmers' chicks. We want to be able to reduce costs for you. We want to be able to minimize errors on the farm. We also want to save you valuable time, right, on the farm, so that you make a bigger profit. We recognize that these measures have increased our production costs as a business, but we have vowed not to compromise quality standards for profit.
Measured against their protein sources, poultry emerges as the epitome of affordability and nutritional richness. Compared to lean cooked beef with 26 grams of protein per 100 grams, chicken boasts of 43 grams of protein per 100 grams, signifying its nutritional superiority. Dennis Igor for UBC News.
Thank you very much there, Dennis Sigo. Now, hundreds of Muslims gathered at Gaddafi National Mosque for Jummah prayers amid heightened security. The congregation faced uncertainty and confrontation with security personnel due to the restrictions following a High Court order to attach and sell vital properties of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, including its headquarters at Old Kampala and other areas nationwide.
The Jummah sermon, led by Sheikh Zayed Lubanga, aimed to reassure Muslims amidst the turmoil.
Should rumors be set afloat? Likewise, in education, the so-called sciences based on mere guesswork, presumptions, and irrational theories have been disapproved.
He urged the community not to be swayed by unsubstantiated rumors regarding the sale of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council properties.
No action should be taken against anyone without proper investigation. It has been made unlawful to arrest, beat, or imprison anyone on mere suspicion during investigation.
Despite these efforts, chaos erupted, led by Haj Abdul Chiimba, causing confusion and prompting some Muslims to hastily leave the mosque. Haj Chiimba was subsequently taken to the Central Police Station in connection with the unarrest.
Era no bw'omubuulira takyasobola kutereera kati n'olwekyo kizibu nnyo okutegeera wati Kiyimba is oba ayagala ki.
The incident has sparked conversations among the Muslim community, with individuals sharing their perspectives on the situation.
Omukulembeze w'eddiini beetereeza. Omukulembeze w'eddiini tekibeera kyaluka kukulembera bantu. Olaba abantu tebakulinaamu bwesigwa obutaweebuuka nnyo tekulira ekito abantu obaviire obalekere emirembe gyabwe.
Olwasa ffena tukankana bukankana abakyala baleeyo n'abazirisi
eyo embeera Allah yokka yasinga ogimanyi.
Ngo sifa abaguzanga bannayuganda n'omuzikiti gusigala gwa bannayuganda gwa basiraamu kitukakatako contributinga omuzikiti gwaffe baleme gutwala nga bagutwala ku nnyondo.
The sale of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council properties remains a contentious issue, emphasizing the need for transparency and resolution within the Muslim leadership.
And in a related story, Uganda Muslim Lawyers Association is to monitor the legal challenges confronting the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. This follows a warrant of attachment and sale of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council vital properties, including the headquarters at Old Kampala.
The legal dispute originated from a land sale agreement in Sembabule on June 24, 2020, involving Mr. Justus Kyabahwa and Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. The timeline of events includes an agreement to lawfully remove squatters and subsequent attacks on squatters, leading to a lawsuit against Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. The court ordered Uganda Muslim Supreme Council to pay over 18 billion shillings, although Uganda Muslim Supreme Council has filed an appeal and the case is currently pending before the Court of Appeal.
Those people have got attachments to some of these properties. Old Kampala is to the Muslims what Namirembe is to the Protestants and what Rubaga is to the Catholics. So we are appealing to the powers that be that this warrant of attachment has touched a very emotional, sentimental nerve of the Muslim community. We feel that the process is fraughted with unjust determination